This is VOA. My name is Misha Kamadovsky, and my guest today is Petro Poroshenko, the fifth president of Ukraine. Mr. Poroshenko, thank you indeed for making time for us.
Great to see you, Misha, again.
Well, the whole world is waiting for the grain deal to be extended. It's one out of not many, if not the only, agreement with the Russian Federation that seems to be working. The United Nations and Turkey say that talks continue, and Ukraine rejected a Russian push for a reduced 60-day renewal, offering a 120-day one instead. From your point of view, how fragile is this agreement?
First of all, everybody should understand the real purpose, the real goal of Russia, and the reason why the whole world has a food crisis. Because Russia tried to weaponize everything: food, energy, and everything else which is under their influence. With this situation, I have absolutely clear that we should thank the United Nations for motivation. We should thank Turkey, and I definitely support the position of Ukraine for extending the minimum term when we should agree minimum at 120 days. Second position with the Black Sea Grain Initiative, this is the official name of this project, is that Ukraine should demonstrate absolutely openness and transparency with accountability with the access to the grain corridor of all the Ukrainian producers, because everybody should be completely sure that the access to the grain corridor is free, and support fighting of the world against hunger and support Ukrainian ability to make an influence on this hunger. And with that situation, I keep my fingers crossed that our unity, together with the whole democratic world, United Nations, Turkey, will definitely bring the results.
Mr. Poroshenko, American and German media, citing anonymous sources, reported about a pro-Ukrainian group that may have exploded the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Journalists say that this group has no ties to the Ukrainian government. You may have read those articles from Washington Post, from the New York Times. The United States is quite cautious about the preliminary assessments of these explosions. And according to our sources, there is some tension on how this subject may or may not affect Kyiv's and Washington's cooperation on military aid. Do you think those concerns are relevant?
First of all, I always believe and keep believing that the Nord Stream project is, as I said before, is not an energy project or not an economic project. This is the symbol of weaponizing by Russia the energy policy.
As the president of Ukraine, you were urging your European partners about this.
Absolutely. And try to do my best since year 2015 to block, to stop, to suspend this process for building up Nord Stream. But at the same time, I want to absolutely confirm that me as a fifth president of Ukraine, Ukrainian authority, and Ukraine as a state all the time acting only with a firm accordance with the international law. And I consider this attack, no matter who is organized that, no matter who is releasing this information, this is attack on the transatlantic unity. And those who is a beneficiary of this attack is only Russia. Russia, who want to disintegrate our unity in the most critical point for the war. And we definitely not allow anybody to discredit it, our unity. This is my personal position. This is the position of Ukraine, of my team, position of Ukrainian government, and position of Ukrainian people. And we should be united and not giving any enemies of Ukraine, any aggressor, any chance to attack or to win our unity. That's why it's important not to distribute fake news. That's important to provide the transparent investigation, if necessary, with the participation of Ukraine, investigation who can deliver the trust. And with that situation, I'm absolutely confident that it would be exactly as I said.
Briefly, do you see anything that may affect the weaponry flow from the Western allies to Ukraine?
This is definitely the sweet dream of Mr. Putin. And definitely we shouldn't give him any tiny chance to implement this dream. The fact which surprised the world and surprised the Putin and from the very first day of the wild-scale attack was the unity in Ukraine we demonstrate, including my team demonstrate from the first hours since 24th of February. And now the global unity, global solidarity with Ukraine, and total and complete isolation of Russia. This is also the key factor for the sustainable security situation on the continent, is a key factor for our victory, is a key factor for our peace. And I think that the today's meeting in Ramstein, which is going right now, and which should be delivered, the new ammunition deal and supply, which we needed as an heir. And many of my team, many of my close friends now is in Bakhmut. And this is direct message I want to deliver to you from them. We have a lack of ammunition. And any delay of ammunition supply, any delay of the armed personnel carrier, air defense, long-range artillery, a long-range missile, any suspend would not affect it only on the April counter-offensive operation, but this is the fact which Ukraine pay very high price in Bakhmut on the whole front line now. Please, let's do our best to accelerate the supply, and I am very much welcome today's initiative in the United States Senate, bipartisan initiative who demand to accelerate the supply and increase the volume of supply. This is vital.
2014, but Moscow never stopped. President Biden said that the U.S. wants to give all possible tools to Ukraine to make gains on the battlefield and subsequently speak from the position of power, should negotiations happen, of course. Is this something that you see happening soon?
Please do not compare the situation year 2014 when we don't have at all an armed forces. And I'm proud that me and my team create the armed forces of Ukraine. And definitely now we have proved that this is one of the best, or maybe, or probably the best in the world. We, in the year 2014, win the battle for creating the armed forces. Today, my conclusion from the long years experience for negotiation with Russia is 3 points. Point number 1 is don't trust Putin. Please don't trust. He is a KGB officer who learned how to lie. And with that situation, it makes it easier if we follow this recommendation. Point number 2, please do not be afraid of Putin. And this is the fact which Ukraine, me, armed forces of Ukraine demonstrate since year 2014, because Putin understands only one language, and this language is a language of strength. And Putin go as far as we together allow him to go. And point number 3, we have already a brilliant negotiator, very efficient. We have a great negotiation while Putin tried to encircle Kiev, why he fight for Kharkiv region, during the operation in Kherson. And the name of this negotiator, and I know because I'm not only the 5th president, I was also the Minister of Foreign Affairs and know something about diplomacy. The best diplomat, best negotiator is armed forces of Ukraine, with the support of our partners, including our global leading role of the United States administration with the leadership of the President Biden, United States Congress, and very important, United States people.
Mr. Poroshenko, you're saying that the world shouldn't trust Vladimir Putin. But should the world trust China? Do you welcome China's attempt to mediate, even though they neither condemned nor tried to stop Russia from invading Ukraine?
First of all, everybody should understand that the key from the peace, definitely not in Washington, not in Kiev, and even not in Beijing. The key from the peace is in the hands of Putin and Moscow. And we should use every tiny possibility to increase well-organized pressure on Putin, starting from the battlefield and finishing with negotiation, to motivate Putin to stop the war, to withdraw Russian troops from Ukrainian soil. And with that situation, I can confirm you that the role of China can be absolutely decisive. And if we have an opportunity to use the Chinese factor, we definitely need to do that as soon as possible. We, at the same time, shouldn't allow any attempt to supply weapons to the military criminal, to Mr. Putin. And with this situation, I think that the document which Chinese present is not a peace plan, actually. This is the 12 points. This is the call for the process. And I am definitely recommend that China should be involved in the process. But what is the way how China should be involved? During my presidency, we present to the world, and this is definitely work until now, nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. And with this situation, it is vital that the President Xi visit Kiev, visit Ukraine. And that would have a great, not only symbolic, but efficient importance. And I think that if we can do something to help them to happen, from United States to NATO to EU, from Ukraine, that would be extremely important. We use this experience when anybody goes to Russia on the way before meeting with Putin. It would be extremely efficient if meeting with the Ukrainian president taking place. And I think let's together motivate China to follow this way.
Nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. That's the position of the United States as well since the very first day of Russia's full-scale invasion. Mr. Poroshenko, before
since year 2014, Misha.
Well, that's true. But before the war, as a leader of the opposition in Ukraine, you were criticizing President Zelensky over multiple issues. He was criticizing you back, and it was democracy at its best. And after Russia started a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, did you change your view on President Zelensky's ruling style? From your point of view, what is his most significant achievement in a war-torn country? Because you said that you've created the armed forces of Ukraine. What is Zelensky's most significant achievement from your perspective?
A great achievement is an achievement not Poroshenko or achievement of Zelensky. This is achievement of Ukrainian people, and this is achievement of Ukrainian armed forces. And on the first hours of full-size invasion, I called to President Zelensky and asked for an urgent meeting. And my message was, I am not, since this moment, I am not the leader of opposition anymore, and you are not anymore my opponent. And if we're talking what is the great achievement since the 24th of February, great achievement is a unity. And unity we should protect, because definitely now the unity is under attack. And some useful idiot from different teams, with the different motivation, try to ruin this unity. And I think that unity is together with the weapons, together with a sanction, together with a justice against Putin, together with a financial support, and together with a future membership of Ukraine in NATO. At the moment of our victory, the unity and global solidarity and global partnership is the key factor for that. And from my point, I will definitely, my position is that I will keep the unity as long as the war happens. And if I would work for the democracy, definitely yes. Shall I criticize or analyze after the war, during the peace process? Definitely yes. But now, unity is our top priority. This is the voice of Ukrainian people.
Well, the unity is vital for the country right now. And the last question, if I may, Mr. Poroshenko, I ask this question all my guests who come to VOA, and I want to ask you, what are the biggest lesson you've learned since February 24th, 2022?
World is different. Ukraine is different. We are different. And with this situation, this is the changes, all the priority. We should value the peace. We should start Ukrainian, the Ukrainian importance for the world means the following. It's impossible, the global security in the world without Ukraine. And that's why Ukraine is so important for the whole world. That's why all our partners, including the United States, consider the supply weapons to introduce the sanction is not an assistance of Ukraine, but as an investment in your own security. And world is different, and let's meet the criteria of the different world.
Petro Poroshenko, the 5th president of Ukraine, thank you very much for making time for VOA.
Thank you, Misha, and Slava Ukraini.